What's up, everybody? It's Michael or Penguin07 here today for another Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc video with your boys Penguin and Nither.
Hey.
It has been a week or a few days since we last recorded because it's a deathly hot.
Look at you with the AC broken.
It's fixed now.
Nice.
So it's time. So we just finished the 5th trial. Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, we died. Basically, right?
Yep.
Alright. Let's get into it. The massive high school towers over all buildings in the bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. A government-funded school for privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a fitting name. There are two things you know. Didn't we already read this at the beginning?
It's redoing the prologue, dude.
Yeah.
Standing on the gate of the ultimate school was me. A normal dude.
The ultimate lucky student.
I guess.
Wait.
He's staying. My boy, you fell from my desk.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, there we are. Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again, and then I was awake. Or was this just another dream? Hey, look! It's the rocket ship! Who died in that again? Was it the headmaster?
The headmaster.
Yeah. A dream inside a hopeless nightmare. No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast, dark cavern where the barest hint of light was seeking in. Trash was piled high all across the area. This must become some kind of underground garbage pit. Alright. A heck of a situation to find myself in, but that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in there until I washed away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. Or all too well what happened. Alter Ego saved me. And he used up the last bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now! For myself and for my friend! And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of here. That's a rocket and a tank?
I think.
But nothing too much of what I'm seeing down here. Is that an airplane? Something like that. Where the school's garbage pit. Are they executions?
Some of them.
No, like from the anime or something?
No. The animation. No, the animation is the exact same as this game.
This
Oh, anime.
is a desk. It's probably the one that fell down here with me.
Yep.
It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here ain't gonna be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon, decide to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. That was pointless too. Next, I search for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are all around bad idea? Pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. That's still not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was
Sleep.
go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had. After not being able to eat or drink. Can't be sure, but at least a full day had to have passed, and all I did was sleep and sleep. It's like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. Where's the Deus Ex Machina? However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly.
Give it.
Crunch!
Crunch.
What the? Strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over here? Something fell from up above. What could it have been?
Looks like trash.
Did a giant piece of trash have fall down here? Carefully stretched my hand out toward whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash. Weird.
Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells awful.
Yep. Cup of nook. Hey, look! It's Gabe's favorite food.
Noodle.
Kyoko!
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected.
What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you.
Glad to hear that, Kyoko. You got a bit of garbage in here. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash and face me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished.
Thank you. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Seconds it was in my mouth and making its way towards my stomach. Woo! That prison food really hit the spot. Bread and water. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going.
So you still haven't given up then?
Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at.
Hmm?
Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at.
Talk to her. But Kyoko, why'd you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt. Or no, to atone.
Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything.
So you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you.
I
abandoned you.
Don't say that. You didn't abandon me. You're best waifu. Now.
No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but... There was a reason that I had to survive, no matter the cost.
Why'd you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you. I will tell you everything. The reason I have to survive
In other words...
is so that I can do what I came to this school to do.
What?
I made up my mind to come to Hope Speak Academy for one very important reason.
So you have some reason to come to Hope's Peak?
Indeed.
That's right. At least, I did. Once.
Once?
Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was.
You forgot, but that's...
I have no memory of what my purpose was.
No memory, that's impossible.
Huh?
There's a flashback.
Yep.
And is it really true you lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at the school?
First thing. Tell me when we fainted, right? I fainted and when I woke up I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself. A disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to the school and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was.
But what could make you forget all that?
Hey,
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient.
Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory.
But why would they do that?
There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability, somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plan.
So Master just stole them from you?
However...
and it could also me. Somehow, my memories may be connected through the mystery of the school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to give them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time.
But what if you say it's true? Why don't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that and we all worked at once,
As one.
the mastermind would have known us right away. Plus, there's always the chance the mastermind is actually one of us.
What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big a deal of it, it's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right?
Well, the mastermind said of themselves that they are one of the students. They're part of the killing game. Mastermind, one of us. If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her except for me. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However,
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me.
But why me?
Because among everyone, you're least likely to be the mastermind. That was just interesting, but
It's like you insulting me.
you're bad. You're the worst one here.
Useless bard! I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could be the mastermind. I understand.
I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
Very good insight, Dreamer Koto.
Sure, I had it before, but why did that just happen?
listen.
Are you okay?
Oh yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey,
Even now, I still trust you. You know? It's just, I'm not used to relying on others.
correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced.
Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. You said the other... Were you able to remember anything?
So,
What's hard?
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability.
Mentioned your ability.
I...
My ability, what everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective.
The ultimate detective.
Correct.
That's no surprise.
Yeah. And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school.
And it's not the mastermind.
Hopefully.
You had to find someone. Who?
So,
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy.
The headmaster? Why'd you want to find the headmaster?
Because he's my father.
What?
in other words,
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak.
Kyoko's dad. Is Hope's Peak headmaster? Then that explains when Alter Ego told us he thought the headmaster was involved.
I'll find a way.
I...
No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster.
no matter what. So,
Just must remember back
I...
Oh, I remember I had come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him.
That makes sense.
However,
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear so that there's no misunderstanding. So the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room.
Then what did you see in there?
so...
The room had been ransacked, the shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone you didn't know where anything was had been in there.
You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes. And like from my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I found.
But why are you there?
Because I also found this in the headmaster's room.
Some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. found it in the headmaster's room along with Makuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for facility use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time. And I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
That's when I finally remembered. I remembered the purpose of finding the owner of that room.
So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there?
However,
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras on them or monitors.
So what was like that part of the school I meant?
It's hard to describe, but I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in the school is more horrific than we ever imagined.
Was it like that one room that Byakuya found?
Different,
What?
maybe.
I can't figure if you said different or definitely.
I said different.
What do you mean?
so
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough.
Sounds like it must be important. Really ominous.
My memory is correct. It's not like that room.
however,
Of course, once I got to the second floor of the dorms, there were no cameras in the monitors. Which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building.
It has to do with Mikuru Ikasaba, doesn't it?
however,
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill. And I know it wasn't you either.
No, you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi. Then who did kill her?
anyway,
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved.
Yeah, I mean, you saw it. He didn't care if either you or if Makoto or Kyoko died, as long as one of them died.
To begin with, the point of the class trial Miku and Ikusabo was to get me killed.
Get you killed?
indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared. In retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial.
It was.
The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly.
And because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly.
In other words,
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it.
Mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. Makes it sound like the Mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
hey,
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the motto of Miku Ikusaba.
What's that?
There's a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto.
Could it be a victim? You mean when she was about to stab me?
indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
You mean
Stabby, stabby.
during the night?
I
can hear them, you know? The footsteps of the god of death.
What?
I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway,
This is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell. And I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I could chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
correct.
I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. I interfered immediately.
However,
Come on.
Sorry.
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to whoever that master saint was, ending up dead.
Well,
Yeah,
as far as we know.
yeah.
I mean, it's a mast.
correct.
And the motor was disguised, and the dodo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind, and I attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me.
So all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the Mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's why I won't think.
That's what it is. That's really bad if it's true. That means the mastermind can kill whoever they want and they feel like it. Wait, does that create another contradiction? The mastermind wants to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right, that is a contradiction. And it's not just Moko. They need the class trial to kill me, but seemed a way to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction.
So what does it all mean? It means that the mastermind's a dickhead who can't even follow their own rules.
In other words,
It means the mastermind is the one who's been cornered.
Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair.
The other ultimate despair?
There's no doubt that Moko was the ultimate despair, and that he's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person.
It's many. It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused the event.
Talking about the
That's
tragedy?
right.
What happened a year ago? The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
The tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that, they're the ultimate despair?
It would seem
That despicable group whose only purpose in motivation comes from despair.
Then they're...
indeed.
Make no mistake. They're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair.
And that's where we're going to leave off this episode. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.